Hey everybody, we might be trying to start our gardens around here, but spring has sprung on its own and I wanted to share a few things with you. I know we've been doing a lot of videos here lately about our back to Eden garden and a lot of wood chipping and things, but kind of wanted to share with you the point that we don't chip everything. We've been blessed to have several plants around our property here naturally that we just adore. This here's a dogwood. And I can't show you the whole thing or I'd be throwing you into the sunlight. We got a couple of them around the property, and I should have done this video about last week, but this particular one's a good 30 feet tall if I were to guess. And these just put out these most beautiful flowers. If you're not familiar with the dogwood, it's pretty easy to identify even in the winter, just because of the way that the branches grow and how the flowers are all pointing skyward. Let me show you something else. There's another dogwood right on our property line. It's kind of the nice thing about these dogwoods is you never really see them unless somebody planted them on purpose, all clumped together. It's kind of like just a nice little splash of these beautiful white flowers just scattered around, usually around wood lines. Here's a personal dilemma I'm running into. These two trees, the dogwood on the right, and I believe that's a cedar on the left. Someone is probably going to correct me. They're growing right behind the duck coop that I've shown you before, right next to each other. And my personal dilemma is I love both of these trees, but they're crowding each other, and I fear I'm going to have to let one go one day. I don't know which one it's going to be. Now this ungainly looking thing isn't much to look at right now, but it is a black walnut tree, and it's the best one for me to take a picture of for you. I actually mentioned this in one of the very first videos we did on how you can find things on your own property to sustain your own family. And again, this was here completely naturally. Obviously we only moved here 4 years ago, and this thing is clearly much older than that. But we're hoping to try to nurse it back to a little bit better health, and we have found dozens of these things all around the property, so it's starting to bud and we are happy to see that. Now I don't want to lie to you about what this is. I have been told, just by trying to describe it to someone, that this is a wild azalea. You might be more familiar with azaleas being all over people's front yards and the different varieties of colors in spring, but this, as you can see, is just growing almost right in the middle of this little runoff creek we have on the property, and it's gorgeous. As you can tell, little Bumble there loves it. But if you happen to know what that is, I'd appreciate you sharing it with us. Here's another one of those, what I know as a wild azalea. Only find them right here, right next to the water. Don't know if that's coincidence or a requirement for them. Of course, some things just like to be sprinkled around. It's a nice little splashy yellow. You can't really see too much here yet, but this is one of our blackberry bushes that just grow wildly across the property. So it looks like if we can get to it before the rabbits do later in the year, we'll have us some yummy blackberries. Okay, y'all can correct me on this again too, but we had something similar to this identified last year, and we're told that they were wasp galls. If I'm saying that wrong, I'll fix it in the annotation. But from what I understand, that's a positive wasp, one that you want to have around. So kind of neat little find there, just growing on the side of this little, it's a little maple tree. Okay guys, the camera was refusing to autofocus on these guys, so I just had to take a still picture for you. But I think this is what's last left of the flowers for our Bradford pear. Again, I could be wrong. If y'all can't tell, I'm not a botanist. It's kind of like art. I don't know it, but I know what I like. Brandon noticed we were walking right over all these neat little white flowers all down our path. They're everywhere. You guys probably know what these are. We just let them do their job. There's a good bit of them on the property, but they never really hurt us. Just let nature Be nature. Now I would call these little guys toadstools. Well, I don't know if that's really what they are. I just don't know any better. You guys have to tell me. Can you identify that from as much as you can see? Probably not an edible variety, but heck, I don't know. Jack wants to try some. Okay, so we've got all these woods. Somewhere down in there is about 5 acres worth of our property. And it can be kind of hard to tell what's what because I'm not an expert. And what we were able to do is kind of portion off. We knew how much of the property we thought we'd be able to clear in a season. And what we did is when we could identify a tree, like the walnut trees, we went and put these surveyor's tape around the trunk of them. That's kind of my signal of don't touch this tree. That's my anti-chainsaw device right there. Here's a bit better video. If you look really hard, you can see one way in the back there just off to the left, these two up front. Way back in the woods there on the about center screen is another. Here comes another one in the foreground, now about center screen. There's a whole bunch of these black walnut trees. Look at these little neat ones. See, got a little grasshopper hopping around back there. Little tiny. Yeah, look at them. Little tiny blue buds. I hope you can see them. The camera refuses to focus today. There's another splash of yellow mixed in with all these little white ones. And blue ones. Look. It's no wonder some people get interested in botany and flowers. The variety is just amazing. Well, you guys got anything like this on your properties? We're going to call it a cave. You tell me what it's really called. See the water coming out of the ground right there? And where the creek bed's kind of dry above it. But only about 15 feet down the way, we can see where it goes underground. You got a low but steady flow going right into it. It's kind of neat. I'm not sure what exactly causes this. Hopefully when you guys can share with me, but you can see the water coming out and the dry there. Kind of get a little window of it right here where we can see the water. But over here it's completely dry. And I say it's completely dry, it's moist. Sorry for the fast camera there, but I don't want to make you have to wait on me too long. We can hear the water running down through there. But we've got to keep walking all the way over to here before we can see that flow again. So that's pretty neat. Okay, all you guys, what in the world do you call these little fun guys? I don't think I've ever seen a trumpet shaped, if you will, fungus before. Daddy. I mentioned in one of my updates where I was doing some wood chipping, the vines that are just horrendous. These little guys look like they just fell off the last day or so. I can't find any up in the tree. Looks like all the greenery's come in now. You might recognize this from the trailblazing video that we did a couple weeks ago. And I've been informed that this is the official fort. And they're proud of it. I might not even speak very good English, but in this case I do speak plant. It is telling me do not touch. Got it. Welcome to my honeydew list. You really can't make too much out of it, but if you notice right, see if I can manage to poke you in the eye here. You see the trunk right there? This tree that you can actually see on this side here kind of follows the edge of my finger there. My wife loves this tree. She says it just looks nice. Now all this stuff here on the right, all this, these are vines that are just growing on it. This is my honeydew list to clean up this tree so my wife can enjoy it more. Anybody want to come whitewash a fence? These ones are a really pretty deep purple. maybe we ought to end the video on this. Why do these decisions have to be so difficult? Since purple is Jennifer's favorite color, I think we'll end with these little beauties right here. It's amazing just the variety that you can find just going on a little nature walk. So maybe I can encourage you guys, go on a little nature walk, show us what you have around your property, see what kind of diversity of all of the gardening, all the things that we try to do, that we try to plant, what's already there naturally. Thank you all for watching. See you next time.